Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to hopefully another beautiful day wherever you may be sitting, lying, standing, waiting, doing whatever you're doing. Today we're going to listen to the band Outlaws. We're going to listen to this track, Green Grass and High Tides. This is off of their debut studio album, Outlaws, which was released in 1975. We're listening to this track because you had suggested it, and by you, I mean John Doe, which is not a great moniker. Come On is Such a Joy, and Hot Black Deseado. So thank you guys so much for the recommendation. Never heard of the Outlaws, don't know a thing about them, but we are going to introduce ourselves into them with this particular track. And also, one thing I love, it's 9 minutes long. I love a good long song, so that is a plus already in my book. As long as it's not a long song that, it's not good, then it's just a drag. But let's see where this track goes. We'll listen to it, talk about it a little bit after. And it's also the final track on the album, just for context. There we go. That good guitar music.
Any place you only dream of, where your soul is always free. Silver stages, golden curtains filled by it played as could be. As a rainbow grew around the sun, all my stars of love who died came from somewhere beyond the sea to see. These lovely people played just for me. If I let you see this place where stories all ring true, will you let me past your face to see what's really you? It's not for me, I ask this question as though I were a king. For you have to love, believe and feel before the burst of tambourines take you there. Green grass and high clouds forever, castles of stone sold in glory. Lost faces say we adore you, as kings and queens bow and play for you.
I like how they smoothed up the ending though, and flow right back into this whiskey river. There's some feel-good country rock guitar in here. This is a guitar goodness kind of song, just filled with it. Oh yeah. Like how the second guitar took solo, and that one that was solo before just kind of keeping it going. Taking it. Great ending to the solo.
Those who do believe in love as time will be your key. Time and time again I thank them for a peace of mind. They help me find myself amongst the music and the rhyme that enchant you there. Green grass and high tides forever.
That course.
Castles of stone slowly pouring. Faces say we adore you, as kings and queens bow and pray for you.
It's like just rambunctious. This is rolling around the hay, kind of southern rock. It's just solos back and forth, jamming across the pasture. The bass is just rowdy, horsing around. Dazzling. I like that pickup there. Sounds like they're speeding up a little bit. They brought that all back together very, very well. Oh, I thought they were here again. I like that kind of muted picking. I can see live this jam would just go. Well, that'll leave you worn out. That'll leave you tuckered out a little bit. This was just a mountainous guitar jam, kind of like Allman Brothers Band. Like it was just you got three guitarists here, and this is once again the final track on the album for context, and they are just jamming out until the very end. If they had anything left, if they had anything left on the cutting room floor, any energy spent, they put it all into this final track. They put it all into their solos. That was just a solo fest on this one. You have three different guitarists, like I said. Lead guitar, Huey Thomason, Billy Jones, and Henry Paul, taking my dad's name. Like three guitarists, and I couldn't tell you, of course, who's playing what, but they all absolutely get at least two spots in what they're performing. And even though I couldn't tell you who's performing what guitar solo in what capacity, you can definitely hear the different styles that they bring, the different sounds that they bring. Like near the end, the continuously like repetitive one kind of riffs off a little bit more, one brings a little bit more sustained notes, while one just gets down and dirty in the mud. Like you can kind of get a distinct feel for different styles, at least in the approach to this particular track, which I appreciate, because if you're going to have three different guitarists and you're going to have a guitar-led song like this, you need some distinction between, the different musicians. You don't want it all just to sound like one bland, one color note. No, you need some extra hues in there, and I do like how they all bring that. Montejo on the drums. The drums are relentless, just constantly bashing back there, keeping up the pace, at times kicking up the aggression a little bit to the point that it seems like the tempo's picking up, even though I don't think that it quite does, but it just feels like it does. And then the bass playing from Frank O'Keefe to keep things all together, to bind it all together, like use egg to bind things together. But at the same time, he also gets quite rowdy with the rest of the boys in the guitar playing there. Like I said, and the singing on this one, that's Billy Jones as well. Or Huey Thomason. They're both credited with vocals. Couldn't say who's leading here, but they're there. It sounds good. Like this is to me like just a guitar jam of country rock, southern rock, and they end it, I think, really nicely on this particular track. It's not something necessarily, just to be honest, that like I would listen to on my own necessarily, but I can definitely appreciate what they're all bringing here and how they're playing. Like I said, it's a really, really fantastic guitar piece, and I feel like this is one that would be like when the band leaves the stage and everyone calls for an encore. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know why starting with an A was in my head, but this feels like the track that they would be using as an encore, and then they would just jam out and really send the audience home packing with some really good stuff to go home with, some really good memories there. In a place you always dream of, where your soul is always free, silver stages, golden curtains filled my head, plain as could be. As a rainbow grew around the sun, all my stars above who died came somewhere beyond the scene you see. These lovely people played for me. Almost like he's getting inspiration from the ghost of musicians past, you could say. Now, if I let you see this place where stories all ring true, will you let me past your face to see what's really you? It's not for me I ask this question as though I were a king, for you have a love, believe, and feel before the burst of tambourines take you there. I like how the describing of love is like the burst of tambourines. Green grass and high tides forever, castles of stone, soul and glory. Lost faces say we adore you as kings and queens bow and play for you. Those who don't believe me, find your souls and set them free. Those who do believe and know that time will be your key. Time and time again, I've thanked them for a peace of mind that helped me find myself amongst the music and the rhyme that enchants you there. And then, of course, it repeats that chorus there once again. That's at least how I read it, as if gaining inspiration and perhaps even comfort from those musicians before them. But let's take a look at the Wikipedia article, of which there is quite a sizable one here. It says it's one of their best known, as receiving extensive play on AOR radio stations, although never released as a single. Obviously, it's noted for having two guitar solos, or two extended guitar solos. I cannot read. Huey Thomason said, I wrote that song in St. Augustine, Florida. That's a cool place over there. We went to a cookout on the beach and everybody forgot to bring their guitars. I was standing by the ocean and there was a breeze and the words kept coming to me. It's about all the rock stars I liked that died had come back and were playing a show just for me. like Hendrix, Joplin, and Jim Morrison, and eventually more, of course. Henry Paul told Song Facts that this song is not about marijuana, but about the deceased rock and roll luminaries, of course, as we just read there. It says it was the usual... Told you. Please clap. Says this song was the usual show closer for the Outlaws, and the 20-plus minute version can be found on concert album Bring It Back Alive as well. Now, St. Augustine is a really cool place, actually, over here in Florida. Oh, not very far from where... maybe I don't know how far it is, but it's like a cool little fort area. They got a lot of shops and stuff. This is actually a perfect encapsulation of St. Augustine, and of course, you got to have gators here at St. Augustine. There's cool shopping and stuff there anyway. All right, anyways, thank you guys so much for the recommendation. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate you being here. If you have a song request, you can bump it up into my line on the Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon for exclusive content, and the YouTube if you don't mind liking and subscribing here right where you are watching. Thank you as always for being here. Please come back tomorrow. I'll see you all then. Bye, guys.